DSP lies about what Asmongold said, claims I took the clip out of context, and insults Tipper.
A couple nights ago, I was playing Diablo. And as I was playing Diablo 4, a topic came up with the audience, and the topic is as follows. Monies. Hey, Phil, why don't you play these new releases more? Like, for example, when a new game comes out, why don't you play it like a marathon 2-3 days to get as far into the game as you can? A lot of other streamers, your contemporaries, actually beat new releases within 2-3 days by playing them in a marathon setting, basically. You know, they're playing it, some of them are playing 13 to 18 hours a day and getting 40 hours into the game within 3 days. All right? So this opened up a discussion on the stream about how I handle new releases, about how it fits into my schedule, and how, you know, how set my schedule is, you know what I mean, for as much as I stream, how you know, dependable it is, but the fact that because I adhere to that schedule, that a lot of people feel like it holds me back from covering new releases more.
Yeah, somebody said in chat, I didn't know Life Diablo 4 on release. Yeah, I never did that, because I didn't think that'd be good content.
But then during that discussion, what came up was that, well, in particular, there's a few streamers who do it way differently, and one of the names that came up was Asmongold.
Here we go. All right. Now it's the part about me.
That I guess when a new game comes out, Asmongold will actually, like, really dedicate himself to playing the game for 3 or more days.
No. To
try to get through the main... I think the game that came up was Diablo. That he had played, like, the main story of Diablo within 2-3 days. It was done.
No.
So
did not.
now when he plays the game, he's in the post-game, end-game content that's considered the best content of the game.
It's the opposite. The campaign is way better content. It's much more interesting. You know what's going to happen. Campaign's much better content. It's got cutscenes and everything. Like, the end game is just farming Nightmare Dungeons over and over and over.
And people are excited, as opposed to, here I am, I've been playing Diablo for over 3 weeks, and I'm still in the campaign. I'm still knocked down.
How the fuck? 3 weeks on the campaign? Are you fucking kidding me? 3 fucking weeks? This guy's the statistic from Blizzard. This guy was part of the infographic right here.
In Act 4, right? And they opened up a discussion about it, and I was talking about, well, it's about work-life balance. If I only play games for 3 days, I mean, I'm not getting sleep. I'm not seeing my family. I'm spending no time.
Well, I mean, like, how long does the campaign take? Like, I mean, I think it takes, like, probably 15 hours, right? What does it take, 15 hours? 6 hours? 10 hours? Let's say it takes 15 hours, right? It takes a while. Streaming is his job, isn't it? Like, it is his job, right? That's why he talks about the donations a lot, right? Yeah, okay. So, I mean, look, man. How do you, like, what are you doing? Like, what else are you playing? Like, oh my God. You still shouldn't be done with it. It's been out for a month. I feel bad for not being done with Final Fantasy 16 that came out a week ago. He's got 3 wives, 12 kids, and 14 jobs. True.
I'm with my wife. I'm not living up to my end of the bargain as a life partner doing chores, and you know what I mean? Like, how unfair would that be?
You're not living up to your point of the...
Oh, that was fair. Yeah, that was real fair. That was not fair at all. That was horseshit is what that was. And, you know, it was an interesting discussion, but the fact that I even said it during when I was saying it during the segment. I said, so you guys are literally name-dropping Asmongold, likely because you're trying to get drama stirred up. And I know that likely what will happen is all this will be taken out of context, right?
Yeah.
And because, again, it's about me. It's supposed to be about discussing me and how I cover new releases and why I cover them the way I do. Me, as opposed to how others do. This is not me attacking others and their methodology. It's me defending my way of doing things, right?
Okay.
I said, but I guarantee you this will be taken out of context.
Yeah.
And, you know, we went a little bit further in because people were, like, talking specifics about Asmongold. I'm like, well, I don't know the guy. I don't watch his content. I don't watch his gameplay. I know very big generalities about him, and that's about it, you know? So I talked a little bit more for, like, maybe I'd say probably the discussion lasted 10 minutes on my Diablo stream, right? So, of course, what happens? Literally exactly what I said happened. My haters/detractors took the segment, clipped it up, completely cut out the part with context. So when you watch...
What context did we miss out on? I feel like we got the context, though, right?
Their version... There was no discussion about me covering new releases whatsoever, and there was no...
Well, it was. That's why I spent half the video talking about. Like, we saw that. That was in the video. It wasn't out of context at all.
Criticism being thrown towards me, saying that, oh, why don't you play those games more at release like others do? Instead, it's spun to make it look like I'm saying that others are doing it wrong, and the way that I do it is better, because now I have a work...
Well, you kind of were, though, right? Because you were saying that, like, if you do that, and if you play the game all the time like that, you don't have a life. So, like, I mean, this is the royal you, right? This is like, if you do this... Not you, but anybody does this and they don't have a life. Like, this is what he said. He did say this. It's like, also, I understand what he's getting at. It's not like he's totally wrong. It's just that it's not contextualized at all.
Life balance. So my methodology is better than yours because I have a life and you don't. I don't get it. how the hell are they living a life if they're sitting at their computer for 18 hours for 3 days straight? Then they're
this is the original. That's what I heard too.
not spending any time with their family at all. So I don't understand that. In reality, if you actually watch the raw footage, that's not the discussion at all. It's completely the opposite. I repeatedly say, anyone could do it in any way. It's all fine. But this is why I do it my way. I'm trying.
Well, that's like saying that, like, oh, well, some people are crackheads and it's degenerate to do that, and you should never do crack and it's bad for you. But, you know, people can do whatever they want. It's like you're still, and like if somebody was a crackhead and they saw that, they might be offended.
To tell you why I cover games the way I do and why it works for me, but another thing might work for someone else. And in fact, I outright said in the segment, when I was younger, I used to cover games like that. It was incredibly unhealthy. I'd be sitting in my room for 18 hours, recording, constantly uploading, eating fast food because I didn't have time to cook, you know, and I was the most unhealthy, unhappy part of my life.
Maybe we should go through DSP's last 2 weeks of streams and min-max what he's doing wrong, you know? We could go back and like look at, okay, so, you know, at this time point, you should have been playing Diablo 4 instead of arguing with a chatter or something like that. It would be really fucking funny to do that.
I'm glad now that I have a better life, that I don't go back to those methods, right? So again, in context,
right,
the whole thing makes sense, and you can see that I'm not insulting anyone. I'm not going out of my way.
You kind of were. I mean, like, it's like if you say something and then you say like anybody that does this doesn't have a life, or you can't have a life if you do this, you are implying something is wrong with the people that are doing it. It's like, come on, that's obviously what you're saying, and it's okay. I don't understand. Like, that's fine, but just say it.
To name drop anyone, it's literally an organic discussion with my audience. But taken out of context, which is all that my scumbag haters do, the whole thing does look like it's a slam piece against others. Like I'm slamming everyone else out there for doing things a different way than the way that I do it, which I did not. Okay? So basically,
well, I mean, like, but like, you know, like, kind of, I mean, you did, but like, it's not a big deal. Like, I'm not offended. I'm not upset about that. Because, like, he's going to do what he's going to do. Like, that's fine. It's okay. But then somebody else is going to do what they're going to do. I don't... Yeah, I'm not, like... It's not a big deal, but... I mean, it is... Like, we did see the clip. It's not a secret.
What happened was... Well, of course, one of my haters made a video like that. And all of my haters sent it to Asmongold and said, hey... Because Asmongold does whole segments of his streams where he reacts to stuff that people send him.
Imagine that.
So they said, hey, react to this, react to this, react to this. All right?
Yeah.
So... he reacts to it. And it's about 20 minutes of him reacting to the clip. Now, of course, he's only reacting to what he sees, not to the whole conversation.
Do you really believe that?
So I agree. Out of context, the conversation, it's made to look like I'm insulting others for doing things differently of how I do it. Which is completely the opposite of what the discussion was, okay?
Well,
but if you watch it, all right, basically, he's like, well, number one, if you play more games, or if you play more of a new release at launch, you're going to make more money. So if you play the hell out of a new release game at launch and you get through it, then you can take days off later in the week to spend with your family.
Yeah.
And isn't it better to have entire days with your family than half days? Okay? It's a good point. But it's funny.
Okay, there we go. All right. Yeah, how about that?
We're like, no, they're married. It's like, okay, so they're married, but do they actually have like a life? Is my question. If like, let's say for example, when Diablo came out, I literally just sat here for 3 straight days and only played Diablo for 18 hours for 3 days, and we beat the story in 3 days. I would not spend time with my family. I wouldn't be eating meals or being healthy. I would actually probably feel like shit after doing that, and my wife would probably be furious. You know, that's a good point if it makes sense for a certain scale. All right. And the other points that he makes are basically like everyone has the right to do however they want. But then it's funny because some of the things in the video he outright laughs off and agrees with. He's like, yeah, Phil, you know, he's not entirely wrong. Some of the things he's saying are actually good points, right? Not to say that I was, you know, everything that I said he agreed with.
Sure. I mean, of course, playing a video game 18 hours a day is not good. Yeah, it's not a big deal, right? I mean, damn. Sure. Play games for a living. Sometimes you got to go to work, provide them. Yeah, it's not a big, like, fuck. But what's his point, man?
But essentially, here's the deal.
Who knows?
Asmongold is a level-headed person.
I know.
Unlike a lot of people who have seen clips out of context about me over the years, he did not go to the extreme. He did not flip out. Right? It makes zero sense.
He's playing it. He's not playing it on a. Wait. What the? I just realized.
Wait, what?
He's playing Diablo on a fucking console? What the hell is he doing playing on a console for? He can play on a PC.
He's basically watching this clip, and he gets.
Man, who doing that shit?
It's funny because if you watch the full react, you get to the end of it, and at the end of it, he literally says this. He goes, "So let me get this straight. This is a hate video about Phil. It's literally made by his hate watchers. That's what I'm watching. It's not his stream. I'm watching a hate watcher video. That's what you guys sent me." He goes, and this stupid video has 500 comments on it. And he cracks up. He goes, damn, What a ridiculous situation that these hate watchers literally just watch this guy to make shit like this and then act like it's something it's not, and they 500 comments on a fucking worthless video. And he even says, why did you send me this? Why did I even watch this? There was no point. There's nothing to this video. It's a waste of time. It's obvious bullshit, right?
It is. Like, and I will give him a benefit of the doubt. People are way too attached to what Darkside Phil does. It's like if he wants to burp and spend his money on WWE mobile game gotchas and play a video game 15 minutes a day. I don't see this as being like particularly offensive to me on a personal level the same way that some of his viewers take it. I just think I don't really give a fuck, you know? Yeah, some of the people that follow, and it's the same thing with Wings of Redemption. It's like, bro, if you hear about Wings of Redemption from one of the people that's like a Sean Ranklin enjoyer, you're gonna think that Wings fucking killed somebody like last week. And that's just the most recent one. But like, no, he just eats Wendy's chili and throws controllers around. Who fucking cares?
He's smart. He's fucking smart. He saw through the bullshit. He's like, what a dumb thing, you know? But that's the sad fact. Is that's the majority of stuff on the internet about me is that. It's people always spinning it to be something it's not, to take it out of context and misrepresent me. Asmongold's smarter than that. So he was able to look at it and be like, wow, it's just stupid bullshit. And then on top of everything, then you gotta be a bunch of negative fucking dicks and do that kind of shit. Get the fuck out of here, seriously. Anyway, here's the deal.
Is that part of the
I just summarized, all right? What I would like to do, and this is only if you guys would like me to, and this is up to you. What we can do is during this Sunday's marathon, I will do a live react to the Asmongold react. Oh, God. In which case, I can add the entire context to it. Meaning, instead of them cutting out half the fucking conversation, I can explain what the full conversation was, how it was in context.
It's just gonna be like a 3-hour video.
We can do that. It's up to you, though. But we don't have to do it. But I'm feeling that's the best time to do it. Because I was thinking about doing it on Saturday, but I was like, no, people want me to watch the clips.
I think I'm beginning to realize why he hasn't finished the Diablo 4 campaign.
That they submit for DSP versus the internet. They don't want me taking up their time to do another random clip that's unrelated. I think I'm starting to get it. Right? So, it's up to you if you guys want it or not. But I think live reacting to what he's saying makes a lot of sense. Because the truth is, a lot of what he's saying is completely good and makes sense. Yeah. If you're watching a video that's out of context, I'm not surprised he reacts that way. Right?
Oh, there it is.
Look, I'll give you one example, okay? When he says, well, if you just play a new release a ton in the first 3 days it's out and you get through it, you're going to get more views, you're going to get more money. That's actually not true.
Okay.
I'm just being honest. It's not true at all.
Okay.
Well, I heard this. It's got to be true. This is hilarious.
So that's actually not true either. I'm right. And the reason why I'm right is if you contextualize it around the fact that there were drops for the game, and most people that watch the game for the first few days are watching for drops, and then after they get the drops, they're no longer going to watch anymore because the only reason they were there in the first place was for the drops. And that's what I was speaking in terms of Diablo 4 specifically, right? So that's why I thought it was a better idea to do that, because obviously those people, like that is the best content for the game, and delivering the best content at the highest ratio of people that you're going to retain and have watch you, that's going to be the best option, right? Now, usually it depends. It depends on the game. It depends on how the game's designed, etc. But in terms of Twitch, I think that, you know, doing really, really long streams every single day, playing as much as possible, is absolutely the right option if you have a game that has drops, right? Seems like Lost Ark had, WoW had, Diablo had, etc.
This is hilarious because I have to address this because it's so stupid. Yeah. Someone tipped $1 and says, you always say things are out of context, but all the clips about you
are
legit.
He's got to stop letting people donate $1 because, like, PayPal takes, like, 30 cents out of that. Like, you've got to stop letting people... You've got to make it up to $2, man.
Uncut clips from your streams.
Anybody who's going to donate $1 will donate $2.
Editing whatsoever. You have no clue what context means, do you? Like, what you said in the tip is so incredibly stupid. It's remarkable how dumb you are to say that on my stream. Like, I'm not going to address it. Do you understand what context is? Context does not mean someone edited a clip so you're saying something you're not saying. That would actually be like dishonesty. That would be like, for example, you know, cutting up audio clips of someone saying a swear word they never said because they took little blips of things they said and edited it together to make it sound like it or something. That's crazy. Right? That's not what I'm saying. Have you no idea what context is? Context means in the capacity of making sense in a line of discussion, something means one thing. But if you pull it out of that line of discussion, it means completely something else. An example here would be the Asmongold discussion. Number one, I never brought up Asmongold. A viewer did, right? I didn't know anything at all about Asmongold and his situation of streaming or what he played or anything, right? At all. That was someone bringing it up as a reference saying, oh, Asmongold's like that. So I'm taking someone's word for it. It wasn't a name drop. I didn't drop the name. A viewer did, but that's not in the clip. The clip cuts that part out where I'm reading off what the viewer said. That makes it out of context. That's not fair to me.
You dumbass. What a dumbass.
Also, the line of discussion began when people were saying to me, Phil, the reason that people aren't really following along these RPG playthroughs is because you take too long to play the games. If you spent 3-4 days just playing these games as they released, then maybe you would actually get somewhere because you get really far into the games and get through most of them in a few days, and a lot of streamers do that. That was the discussion, and then my discussion was, well, here's why I don't do that. Because I have a work-life balance, because I have a schedule, because I'm a variety content creator that juggles multiple games. I would upset a lot of people if I only played one game for 3-4 days straight. Like, that was the conversation. In context, it makes sense. If you cut that whole early conversation out, all it sounds like is I'm criticizing others for doing things differently than the way that I do it, and I'm trying to say that my way is perfect. It's not. It works for me. It doesn't mean that it works for everyone else. But again, it's about doing it in context. And if you cut that out of context, it sounds differently than what it is. So I can't make you understand the concept of context, but your tip shows you have no idea what it is. And the fact that you just think that someone takes something that I said on a stream without editing it makes it truthful or makes it meaningful or makes it that, oh, so you said that, so therefore we didn't make anything up. It just shows how dumb you are. This must be true, and this must be true, and this must be true.
That's the end of the video.
You dumbass. What a dumbass.
Also, the line.
Oh my fucking god. Oh my fucking god. Oh god, guys, I gotta go. I gotta have dinner with my dad. Man, I gotta